everybody. It's Tom Stoukas coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario. Tonight, Friday, September 26th. Hope everybody's having a nice day. It was a beautiful day in Sarnia today, finally. Nice weather. I even took the motorcycle out for a nice ride. So what's on for today that I saw? Our prime ministers in the UK meeting with a bunch of other world leaders, talking about some, economic and security partnerships and all that. But who knows what they're planning? They're up to no good, I'm sure. In the UK, there's a big uproar because they proposed a mandatory digital ID. And because Carney's there, at the same time, everybody's in Canada thinking, okay, that's what they're going to do in Canada. Which they probably will, because he's a globalist commie. So it's interesting, the ID, and they're saying they need the digital ID in the UK to combat the illegal immigration problem. So basically, if you want to work in the UK, you have to have a ID, digital ID, and you show it to the employer. And that way illegal aliens can't work or something. I don't know. I don't think they work in anyways. They just sit there in the parks all day. But instead of bringing in this digital ID, how about you just shut the border? So like they create the problem, and then people get upset, and then they come and offer this digital ID solution, when maybe if they just didn't create the problem in the first place. So I'm sure they'll do the same thing in Canada. They'll say, oh, the digital ID will prevent fraud and immigration, illegal immigration and all that. So we'll see. I know they're going to try and do, they're already trying to do a hate crime bill for protests. And I think there's rumblings that they're going to introduce an online hate crime bill. So, and then the digital ID, who knows? All bad things. And then another thing is, one of the, I don't know what I think the Parliamentary Budget Office, PBO or something. It's supposed to be nonpartisan. So they give economic updates, but it's not like, it's supposed to be neutral. And he made some headlines because he was at a parliamentary committee hearing, and he said how basically very clear, plain language, said Canada's screwed and we're broke and bankrupt and it's really, really bad. So it's almost like they're preparing us for a crash. Excuse. It's like they're preparing us for a crash. And it could... It's because we're spending more than we're making. I don't know why. All the millions and billions of dollars in programs going to Ukraine, and all sorts of gender programs and all sorts of money laundering and theft by friends of the government. So no wonder we're screwed. So we'll see at the budget how big the deficit is when the budget comes out in November. But it affects you, because if they're broke as they say they're going to raise your taxes, fire civil servants, which is good, but then they're going to be unemployed. Or what else? And then also the dollar will probably go to shit. Will be like the peso. So you won't be able to travel or import anything good. Yeah, they screwed us. So those are and then we have the regular third world Canada segment. Lots of signs and indications that Canada's turning into a third world country right before our eyes. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to it. I think I'm coming down with something. Hopefully it's not nothing lab made. All right, let's get on this thing. First thing, so we're talking about a lot of stuff in Canada, like digital ID, hate crime, all sorts of stuff, censorship. We'll see if Carney's the kind of guy who wants to do it. We'll see if he does it. So this is funny. The Dominion Society of Canada, which is it's kind of like a nationalist organization that wants to protect Canada. Crazy, I know. And they started a poster campaign. So they're trying to get the word out and change the conversation in regards to mass immigration. So part of that strategy is putting out posters. And I think they're going to put posters everywhere, but I think they may just put some up in Niagara just for just to see the reception. And it's funny, here's the poster anyway. So Dominion Society, it's better than nothing. At least they're trying. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, here's the poster they put out. Dominion Society, many voices, one mission. So they're getting to the World War II kind of thing. It looks good. I like it. I don't know what the flag is there. It looks like the red ensign. Obviously, the soldiers going to the war there. So it really triggered the commies, who are like, if they get triggered by a poster, wait till they see what else comes at them. So what did they say? White supremacist posters across Niagara. These were at Canadian Legions in St. Catharines and Niagara Falls. Oh, the horror. Oh my gosh. Posters for white supremacist group Dominion Society being put up all over Niagara. These were at the Royal Canadian Legion in St. Catharines and Niagara Falls. Please take a pic, report, and take them down. Of course, that's a commie thing, censorship. Even not even digital censorship, but real life censorship, like taking down posters. Show we outnumber the people putting them up. Oh, I got to get some posters for Sarnia here. Okay, it's hilarious, these commies. What did I say? Posters look awesome. Cry some more, commies. Imagine Canadians posting Canadian things at Canadian Legions. Crazy. Okay. We're going to poster even harder. I like that. And shut up, you fat foreign This is the guy who, I guess, runs Niagara with who knows how much taxpayer money these idiots are getting. Give me some taxpayer. Well, give me some more. Okay, Niagara Region Anti-Racism Association. What the hell? This is the guy. This is this guy. I gotta get my audio.
I'm running as a communist in St. Catharines. My name is Saleh Waziruddin. I'm running as a communist in St. Catharines on Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee land. One of the main reasons I'm running.
All right, so if that's the guy we're up against, if that's the kind of guys we're up against, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be good. Like a knife through hot butter, or a hot knife through butter. Okay. Next, this is Sarnia. Sarnia is becoming third world. We had the perv Indian dude who apparently everybody thinks he should stay here no matter what, and he's not. They're like, oh, when we're saying deport him, oh, you're racist. You're racist. I hate that. Anyway, we're becoming a third world city, we used to make fun of Toronto. He's like, oh, Toronto's screwed. It's like, well, those shock waves, they're coming slowly our way. So this is a weird story. Yeah, we had the guy perving out the high school. We'll see, how if he does it again. But these guys, they were driving an 18-wheeler in like a residential neighborhood in Sarnia, and it's like kind of a nicer neighborhood. So the neighbors, they hate speeding, and the cops are always coming there to give tickets. And they have a roundabout here, and this 18-wheeler for some reason shouldn't even be in this neighborhood. And they go around the roundabout, and the back end catches the landscaping and rips all this rocks from the roundabout. And basically they screwed up the truck too, and apparently the truck was stolen. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but they're not even from Sarnia. So around 12:30, the Sarnia police received a report that a tractor trailer collided with the garden bed in the roundabout at Cathcart Boulevard, Indian Road North. So while moving westbound through the roundabout, the tractor trailer collided with several armor stones and dragged them westbound on Cathcart. Driver pulled the truck over near the intersection after sustaining damage to the trailer. Upon investigation, it was discovered by the police that the trailer portion of the vehicle and license plate were reported as stolen out of the Peel region on September 6th. So the trailer, the container, was stolen. I wonder what was in it. Where the hell were they doing here? Ali Mohammed of Nobleton, Ontario, and Quran Mohammed of Mississauga, subsequently arrested and charged criminally with possession of property. Interesting what is in the truck. But anyway, it's not enough that there's horrible drivers, because why would you have an 18-wheeler in a roundabout? But they were thieves as well. So Sarnia is going to start seeing more of this kind of criminal stuff. I'm worried about Sarnia because the gangbangers and that, they're starting to migrate to London, and they could do a little hop down the highway, do a few home invasions, and be back in London before the cops even know what hit them. So yeah, Sarnia's starting to become sketchy. So yeah, I wonder what they'll look like. I wonder what their deal is. What the hell are they doing in Sarnia, like Mississauga, with a stolen truck? Weird. Okay, so here's the posters again. Yeah, they got triggered over posters. It's hilarious. Triggering these guys is hilarious. It's so easy. Okay, so here's this ties in with the digital ID and the censorship and the hate crime. So Carney and the Prime Minister of UK, Keir Starmer, they're very kindred spirits. Like they basically believe in the same thing. So whatever Starmer's doing, you can bet Carney wants to do it. And so here it says they discuss far-right threat at London conference. I don't know if this was now or at a previous time, because I haven't seen anything on the agenda about far-right conference, but I'm sure that's what they were discussing in private, because Canada has a problem. They don't like it's on X, at least, there's too much free speech, so they got to do something about it. I'm sure they're going to do something about it. They're not worried about the thugs and the rapists on the street. They're worried about the guys online calling them traitors. So I have a bad, I think that they spent the summer, Carney, after the election, they spent the summer kind of plotting against what they're going to do, and now with the Parliament, and they're going to start the implementing of it. This online one, whether it gets introduced and when, should be interesting, because I know they hate X in Canada. It's too free, and it's, say what you will about X and whatever. It is like a thorn in the side of the Canadian government. So the countries that are arresting people for memes and implementing digital ID are discussing that far right is the threat. That's what Mark Carney flew to the UK for. I don't know. He flew to the UK for something. He didn't just go for. He didn't just go for like a regular visit, because he's been there so many times since he's been premier or elected prime minister. So he went there for something. Something's up. Something's up. All right. I like this. Canada ranked #1 country in the world people want to move to. Survey finds. Of course. Of course it's #1 in the world. You get all the benefits. You have you tell them a sob story and they'll let you in. Give you all the benefits. Of course. Of course they want to come here. So our traitor politicians are giving it all away. This one is crazy. This is stuff happens in third world countries. So this guy in Richmond Hill was basically executed in broad daylight. So it was probably like it was a targeted hit. Looked fairly professional, fairly planned out at least. And they took him out. So who knows? It would have been a business dispute. It could have been anything about money, whatever. But that's how they do stuff in like Colombia or Guatemala or Nigeria or whatever. Like that's like a common thing, and that's why a lot of private businessmen in those countries have private security, gated communities, because the police aren't going to protect you. So they have to do. So that's kind of like, when you see that, you don't think it's happening in Toronto. And this is a decent neighborhood. But that's what you get, when you're turning into a third world country. You get third world style hits on the street. Let's look at this. So he looks like he's like right out of a movie. So he's walking, running or something. There, boom. 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 3 shots, 4 shots. Then he's got the pickup car to go. See you later. So yeah, that was an execution, and it's a nice neighborhood. So I'm sure we'll get more details, but the point is that's the kind of stuff you see in like some third world country, and in the third world countries, the rich people don't go out with the public. They stay behind their walls. So I hope that's not what we're turning into, but this is not encouraging. All right, next. We get a lot of this. Man wanted for exposing himself to 10-year-old girl as she walked home from school. That's horrible. Like, I got to worry about that. I have kids. We had the guy here in Sarnia at the high school groper. But you're racist. All right. Okay. Police were called to the area of Oxford Avenue and Ear Road and Crystal Beach for reports of a male who exposed himself to a 10-year-old female as she was walking home from school. Members of the community told the police they saw the same male suspect earlier in the week going into people's yards. Male is described as follows: a black or Hispanic, 30 years old. Okay. That's crazy. Look at this dude. Deport. And then in Vaughan, this guy, he pretended to be an Uber driver, and he picked up some girl. It's like 3 a.m. Like, probably shouldn't have been out that late, but what did he do to her? I mean, it's pretty bad. I feel bad for the women of this country because they literally have to watch their backs like all the time. So what did he do? He was claiming so 30-year-old man accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting woman after posing as a rideshare driver. So she was waiting for a ride in the area shortly after 3 a.m. on Monday. When the man approached her, told her that he was a rideshare driver and offered her a drive, and then he took her to a parking lot and sexually assaulted her. So yeah, but this happens a lot. Sometimes they're actually Uber drivers. Sometimes they're just pretending to be Uber drivers. But it's the same thing. Like, girls can't, they have to be, and it's worse in the UK and other European countries. It's not haven't gotten as bad. It has potential to get worse here. Like there, it's women can't even walk a street over there. Okay, next. Mass immigration and multiculturalism are clearly the root cause of so many problems in Canadian society. When the left spends disproportionate time and attention vilifying anyone who criticizes immigration, you know they're unserious in wanting to solve any of these problems. Yeah, like, literally, if you say anything about immigration, you're, like, attacked and called so many bad things, but you know what? Don't care anymore. Nothing could stop this train. Like, and all these criminals, there shouldn't even be like all this deportation hearings and all this. It should be gone. See ya. Like, if that Indian guy that was perving at the high school, if he's not a Canadian citizen, he should be out on the next plane. All right. Next, semi-truck rollover near Peterborough. Where are the drivers? Yeah. I don't know, man. How many people are going to have to die until these traitors are exposed? Like, we're not in winter, Why are there crashes every day? Imagine, oh my gosh. Winter. All right, here's the digital ID, mandatory to work. So I read a little about this. So the difference here is the word mandatory. So like some governments, like Alberta wants to offer digital versions of ID, but it's not mandatory. It's like just for your convenience, right? So let's say you're driving on your motorcycle and you don't want to carry all your license and stuff, so you just have it on your phone. You can show the cop, okay, and the cop will accept it because it's a digital version. Well, this one he wants to do mandatory. So basically, if you want to work in the UK, you have to show him your ID. And you can't work unless you have an ID. So that way, he's saying it will fight illegal immigration. But it's kind of stupid because, I mean, how do you think under the table works? Under the table works when you're not getting paid. You're getting paid cash. So why are they going to start, like, what's going to stop them from paying cash, whether you have a digital ID or not? So a lot of people are suspicious of the motives. Like, instead of, like, making your population get a digital ID, maybe just kick out all the invaders that are coming and taking up all the hotel rooms and raping the women. Like, why are you doing a digital ID? So a lot of people are very suspicious. And for me, the digital ID, people are like, oh, what's the big deal? It's a big deal because, like, remember when they had the commie Vax Pass, and you couldn't go anywhere unless you had the Vax Pass ID. So, and with the way computers and AI, they can really manage it under system of control and find out all they want about you. So let's say you have this ID. Right now they say it's only for work. It's like you have to show it to prove you're legal to work in Canada or UK. But soon they'll say, oh, you need it. You can use it for to show at a bar or a store, to a police officer if he asks you for ID. Okay. And then next thing you know, they'll add the next pandemic, they'll add a vax part to it. Like, it's just, once it starts, it'll just keep going, right? So, and once you're tied to that ID, where services can be denied to you, like your job, then you're basically under their control. That's the whole idea. That's the whole argument. So yeah, it's bad. I think it's bad. It's kind of like China. I'm sure China's right into this kind of stuff. All right, next. So yeah, this is UK, and he still hasn't passed it. There might be a lot of public opposition to it, so he might end up dumping it, but it's something to watch for Canada. Next, I thought I was here as third world Edmonton. I thought I was watching Trailer Park Boys here, but these guys, they're loading up a ATM machine. Hold on. Into back of it. You think they would have got like a truck? Like, I'm sure that car's stolen. So if you're gonna steal something, you should have stole like a pickup truck, because you would have just threw it right in and boom, gone. What is this? I'm sure these guys are not Canadians, because Canadians, I think Canadians would have had a pickup truck. You say, we can't steal the ATM without a pickup truck, man. Yeah, those definitely aren't Canadians. Isn't it security? So yeah, look at that. Why would you bring? You should have got a pickup truck, man. But anyway, they're not afraid at all of the police coming to get him. And look, he grabs he doesn't want to leave his trolley. There's a dolly cart there. He's taking that. I paid money for that. I'm not leaving it. Wow. I heard Edmonton's getting bad. I don't live in Alberta, so I don't like to comment too much. But I've heard Edmonton especially has gone to shit. Here, look at this. This is whacked. We're just... The other day, they busted a Sikh, a Khalistani Sikh. And he's like this big activist. But apparently they busted him all for guns and stuff. Inderjeet Singh or whatever. Now this looks like it's a different one. Someone caught in traffic, and they caught. What the hell is he doing with all this? Okay, Gurpreet. So this is a different guy. Gurpreet Gill faces 27 firearm charges after semi-fully automatic rifles and pistols were seized during traffic investigation. So these Indian guys have a big thing with guns. Like, remember the gun thing we saw at the in Muskoka where they were firing the guns off a bridge? And there's other things in BC where they've had guns, and then the last couple of days, this couple prominent gun arrests from the Sikhs, the Khalistani Sikhs here. Well, I don't know if this guy's a Khalistani. I don't care, but what the hell do they have this big interest in guns? What are they planning? And Gary, the Sri Lankan public affairs minister, he's more worried about taking guns from licensed gun owners, guys on the farm shooting coyotes, than he is about these guys, these Indian dudes. So these guys are allowed to walk around, rape the women, and shoot the guns, and they don't get deported. All right. Well, they're going to start getting deported, hopefully. All right. That's a lot of guns. And still, to update you guys is they only still have got one guy for those shootings, shooting off the bridge, the reckless shooting. All right, here's this Parliamentary Budget Officer reacting to Canada's public debt charges. You can actually see and feel how serious he is about what kind of trouble Canada is in. His message to the government is, if you don't change this, is done. So, I don't know. It's not looking good because they're saying we're like going to have like a really, really huge deficit. So, I'm sure they'll use that as an excuse for their great reset to reset all the debts. Let's see what this is.
It's not a funny fiscal outlook. It
is public debt charges is $53.6 billion, and that projection is going to increase to in 2030 to $82.4 billion. Is that sustainable?
Every dollar spent on debt is a dollar that is not spent elsewhere.
Again, how alarming is that for the average Canadian, for the taxpayer? Because there is only one taxpayer, right?
It should be very alarming, right? These are, I don't know, I think I use the words in French, and which the translators probably got really well, like stupefying, shocking, right? This is not, like, it's not a funny fiscal outlook. It's a really serious fiscal outlook. And we don't lightly use the word unsustainable, right? Unsustainable means you don't have the option of saying, maybe I'll wait a couple of years, I'll see how things go. It means if you don't change, this is done, right? So it's very serious.
What the fuck?
So yeah, I don't know how. That's kind of the feeling coming out as this budget comes closer, is that we're screwed. We're screwed. That's what they're trying to tell us. Okay. Sorry, I lost my... All right. There we go. Here we go again. All right. We don't have the budget. The production budget here. All right. Okay. What's next? So, yeah, this is the guy who got busted the other day. Inderjeet Singh Gosal. A Khalistani organizer has been released on bail after... He's out on bail. After being arrested 2 days ago for a dozen firearm charges. So this is a different guy. That was in Whitby. The other guy was in Mississauga. So these Indians are driving around with a bunch of guns. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan public safety minister's more worried about taking guns away from the licensed gun owners. And these guys are driving around like it's the Indian Crips and Bloods. It's pretty bad. It's going to have to change. Here's this on Carney. Carney is just jet-setting all over the place. He's been sent by his WEF handlers to reassure everyone that the plan is still being executed. It's so obvious that Trudeau fumbled the ball and Carney had to step in. Wake up, Canada, we're getting fucked. Yeah, I think Carney's what you call the closer. So Trudeau was kind of the dummy that they got in there to destroy everything for 10 years, and Carney's kind of the guy to come in and close the deal, whether it's digital ID or digital money or digital censorship or all three. I don't think Trudeau had it in him to finish it. He was like the setup man. Trudeau's dad was the starting pitcher. Trudeau's a setup man. His son is a setup man, and Carney is the closer. Okay. We'll see. He's got to go, like, he's got 2 or 3 years to do what he needs to do. Lots of time. Okay. And then this is the last post. This is Carney's evolution, really. The budget will balance itself. Remember they were saying the investments we make will pay for everything that we're spending, whatever. And then there will be no budget because, they didn't have a budget. They decided, let's not bother. They're doing one in November now. And then we're running a $100 billion deficit. And that's the number. It's coming out. Like, it's going to be a big number. Deficit, obviously, you're spending, it's what you spend more than you're actually bringing in. So 100 billion, bad. And then, oops, we're bankrupt. So yeah, we went from budget will balance itself to bankrupt. All right. Good stuff. That was today. Not that exciting. I think the real fireworks are coming up. So, next broadcast will be, I'm here all weekend. I'm all by myself. So the next broadcast will be tomorrow, September 27th. And then we'll see what goes on tomorrow. Until then, have a nice night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh.